morning, friends. This is really a pleasurable thing for me to talk to you about poetry, especially my new students, those who were very enthusiastic and very joyfully entering out of their interest into the field of literature, especially an English one or any sort of literature. I personally do believe that these new beginners in the field of English language and literature, or especially literature, these students must study some of the classics of literature, and they must begin with the classics, or these are the words used by T.S. Eliot, classics or touchstone. So what is the classic and what is the touchstone? The classic is something that is very evergreen, and touchstone is something that is used to compare and contrast, and then finally find out that which is the best, what is the best, or what are the good qualities of literature. So this present poem that I have taken is one of the classical poems that everybody must study, especially the new beginners in the field of literature. This poem was written by Robert Burns. Robert Burns is a Scottish poet. After the independence, every nation has to regain the past, has to claim their own history. And as a result of this policy, a Scottish government, after the independence, is trying to hold their own past, is trying to regenerate the history that they have lost. So, in order to create a national aspirations among the Scottish citizens or Scottish people, Scottish government has taken an initiative to create a Scottish national literature. And any nation which was newly established begins with the nationalist poetry. However, this present poem, which talks about the nature, the beauty, the love, which Scottish land hold, and therefore the Scottish government has chosen this poet Robert Burns to regain the past, to regain the history, and to create a nationalist literature. So Robert Burns has published many Scottish poems, and this present poem, A Red, Red Rose, is one of the best poems ever written by any other poet. As you observe the title, A Red, Red Rose, you will point out that this title, A Red, Red Rose, itself is full of musical rhythmic creations. You will point out that the word red and rose, so the initial sound of all these words is R, and as a result of it we can say that this is an alliteration, a best example of alliteration. Second thing, you will also point out that the red rose, so the sound red was repeated, and it gives emphasis not on rose but on redness. So only red rose is supposed to be the beautiful. Only red rose is a symbol of love, or any rose is a symbol of love, but a red rose, the stress, the emphasis is given on red, and so this repetition also creates a different aura, different impressions on the mind of reader. Now, this poem was written in 1794, as Robert Burns was born in 1759 and died in 1796. In between, he has written many things. However, now I would be happy to read out this poem, A Red Rose, for your sake. Just closely observe the poem and then we will analyze it. So I will show you the picture of, first of all I will show you the picture of Robert Burns, and then we will read out the poem. So see on my screen, there is a picture of Robert Burns. So this is Mr. Robert Burns, born on 1759, died on 1796. So he has very small limited life, but though he has a literary creative talent within himself, and he has make name and fame with that. Now let's read out the poem. You can see the screen. I will just read it out. Oh my loves, oh my love is like a red rose that is newly sprung in June. Oh my love is like a melody that is sweetly played in tune. Now this was the first stanza of the poem. We will go to the next stanza. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will be, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas can dry, till all the seas can dry, till all the seas can dry. Now the next stanza. Till all the seas can dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of my life shall run. Sands of life shall run. And now the last stanza. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. So this was really a beautiful poem. Very short, having a very simple language. Throughout this poem, you can point out the ample use of similes. Many images have been used. Most of these images are taken from nature. For example, a sun, then sands of my life, rocks, seas. So these are the natural images that has been used by the poet. Poet himself lived in the lap of nature, and therefore this poem will definitely reflect the foundation, the spirit for the philosophy of Romanticism. Actually, Robert Burns is not a part of Romanticism, but you can trace out the philosophical base or these inspirations in Robert Burns. So let's talk about the first paragraph of the poem, the first stanza of the poem. Sorry, I referred it as paragraph. It is a stanza. This paragraph, this stanza is a quatrain. Quatrain is the stanza that is written in 4 lines. So see how is it. Oh my love. Now try to understand. Oh, I forgot to write it down, but there is a oh. Oh my love is like a red rose. Now this oh means the poet is addressing someone. The poet is appealing to someone. Say, hey you, my love. Oh my love, listen what I'm trying to say. So oh my love is like a red rose. So my love is like a red, red rose. Now poet is here making a very indirect comparison by using the word like between beloved, between his love and between the red, red rose. So at the one hand, poet has his own beloved, and at the another hand, poet holds a red, red rose. So here, by comparing a red, red rose with his beloved or his beloved with red, red rose, poet is trying to point out that there are some similarities. There are some common things between these two, between the beloved and between a red, red rose. Now you can point out how is the red, red rose. So how is the red, red rose? The red, red rose is supposed to be the king of flower. Is supposed to be the best flower in the world, and it was widely accepted and appreciated. Flower is the red, red rose. Now we will point out his beloved. So his beloved do have all the qualities, that is the tenderness, that is the smell of the color, you can say a hue of the color, redness, so tenderness, beauty, the way the petals of the flower holds the scent, the smell. So all these qualities were there in the beloved of the poet Robert Burns. Now try to observe the second line. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that is newly sprung in June. Now try to point out the comparison is moving a little bit of advance. Poet is making a red, red rose, not a normal one. It's advanced. It's a special red, red rose. It's not an ordinary red, red rose that blooms either in October or November or December. It is a very special one. This is special in the sense that it's newly sprung in June. That means a red, red rose that is newly sprung in June. Now I will point out one thing. I do remember John Keats, who wrote the poem An Autumn. Now at the international level we have 4 seasons, but in the Indian continent we have 3 seasons. Now what are these 4 seasons? Summer, winter, spring and autumn. These are the 4 seasons. Autumn is one of the seasons when the new leaves were just coming out from the trees and the old leaves had already fallen down. So this was the season of autumn. John Keats has very beautifully described the season and autumn through his poem. However, we will not go into that details, but here we have to point out that this was the first flower of the plant, rose plant. And therefore, you will point out the first flower of the season, the first flower of the plant, how beautiful it would be. This is not the flower that occurs, that blooms in the summer season. This is the flower that blooms in the autumn, and this is the first flower. You will point out that the first seed, the first fruit of the tree is always very good. You can experience it. So in the same fashion, this is a red, red rose which is newly sprung in June. So poet here addressing his beloved and saying, oh my love, you are like a red, red rose that is newly sprung in June. That is newly sprung in June. Now try to concentrate on the third line. Oh my love is like a melody. Now here the poet has chosen a different object for comparison. In the first 2 lines, poet compared his love with a red, red rose, and now he is comparing a beloved with a melody. Melody is a composition of music. You will point out how does the melody appeals to your heart, and it gives a peace, solace out of the complications of a present life, modern life, or even in classical life also, or in ancient India also, or in ancient period also. So you already knows. I do remember some of the Indian musicians who blooms the flame through their ragas, and who will brought out the rains when they sings the rag of for the meghas, or the rain will come out when they sings the rag. So you can point out the importance of music, and the poet is comparing his own beloved with that melody, the sweetness, the peacefulness that has been provided by the melody. So poet is saying, "Oh, my love is like a melody that is sweetly played in tune." So nothing is out of tune. Everything is in tune. Everything is appropriate. Nothing is less, nothing is more. It's perfect. You can say an apt. So this is how the poet is describing his own beloved. Now we will move towards the next line. Here the poet is not trying to compare his beloved, but here he is trying to show how much I love thee, or how deep is my love towards her. So poet is saying in the next stanza, "As fair art thou," now you can see it on the screen, "as fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I. So deep in love am I. As fair art thou." Fair means beautiful. Fair does not mean a color complexity. Fair means a beauty. So as fair art thou, thou means you. Throughout this poem, you will point out that there are some Scottish dialectical words were there, or you can say an old English word. So thou means thou. Thou means you. So as fair are you, as fair are thou. As fair art thou, my bonny lass. Bonny lass means she is very slender. She is very slim. So lass means lass, L-A-S-S, lass means a girl. So poet is saying, as fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I. So as fair art thou, as beautiful you are, so deep in love am I. So my love, my attraction, it's not attraction actually, it is a love. So there is a difference between love and attraction. We will not discuss the attraction, but we will concentrate on love. Attraction is a physical one. Otherwise, this love is very spiritual activity. So as fair art thou, as beautiful you are, as smart you are, my bonny lass, my slender slim girl, so deep in love am I. So through this line also poet compare, once again compare, because this line begins with as fair art thou, as beautiful you are, so deep in love am I. So here poet compares the beauty with the depth of his love. So here the comparison is not between the beloved and the melody, the beloved and the red rose. Here is the comparison between the beauty of a beloved and the love, the quality of love that the poet has towards his beloved. And now we will go to the next line. And I will love thee still, my dear, and I will love thee still, till all the seas can dry, till all the seas can dry. See, and I will love thee. Thee means T-H-E-E-T. Thee means you. I will love you till that moment. So he is giving a promise, a kind of commitment the poet is trying to show through this poem. And I will love you till my dear, till all the seas can dry. Can means to become. Till all the seas become dry. Now you can observe that this is highly impossible thing. Highly impossible. So the poet said a very impossible exaggeration. But these exaggerations are used to show how committed am I, to show how promising am I. So the poet Robert Burns is trying to show a great promise to his beloved that you can believe me, or how deep in love am I with you. Now we will move towards the next stanza. Till all the seas, now you can see on the screen, till all the seas can dry, my dear, and all the rocks melt with the sun. And the rocks melt with the sun, I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of my life shall run. Now you can easily observe that the poet has repeated the line that till all the seas can dry. Now very impossible, but still poet repeated. Now this repetition is giving an emphasis or the poet's love, promising factor in the character of the poet, in the character of a lover, which he is trying to convince to his beloved. So therefore this repetition matters in this poem. So till all the seas can dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. Now you will point out a geographical happening that the rocks are already melting. You know, a solid rock will take out lakhs of years to convert it into the dust, into the soil, into the best soil. So melting rocks with the sun, once again, a very time-consuming activity. It will take lakhs of years to have an inch of or 1 millimeter layer on this earth of soil. So this is once again very, very impossible things that the poet is talking about. But through this impossible repetitions, a repetition of hyperbole, repetition of exaggeration, the poet is trying to show that, okay, these things are not going to happen, but my love is there. I'm so deep in love with you. That's what the poet is trying to say through these hyperbole, through these exaggerations. I will love thee still. Now the next line. I will love thee. Thee means you. I will love you still, my dear, while the sands of my life shall run. Sands of my life. It means the span of my life. The life that has been given to me, whatever it may be. It may be 70 years, 100 years, or 10 years, whatever it is. So my lifespan till the sands of my life shall run. Now you can observe this phrase, sands of life shall run. Sands of life, in the ancient time we have the watches made out of sand. These watches are made out of glass, and there are two sides of a glass, and there is a thin hole, a very small hole, and through these holes the sand is just coming down. It's not coming, but just sliding down from the upper part of the watch to the lower part, and you can decide the time according to that. So these watches were there, and therefore this use of word sands of life shall run has its own importance. So